If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 532. Still Got Game is official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I'm Chris Selden, 007 Selden.
I'm Brian Shadow Emmerich.
And we're back. Only a week off this time, guys. So, yeah, it's almost like we're pros.
Yes. Almost a regular, semi-regular schedule.
Yeah. If our schedule was bi-weekly, and then all of a sudden we put 2 weeks in a row, people are like, oh, they're giving us extra. So maybe we should say, join us each and every other Friday night or Monday night. And then, then we'd throw in these bonus episodes and they'd be like, oh, they gave us a bonus. Nice. A lot less judgy.
Last August was 500, I think. So 32 more. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
32 out of 52. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, not bad.
That's more than bi-weekly. Or
sure. I mean, it's not August, but it's close.
Yeah. Close enough.
Yep.
Fiscal year. Working on fiscal years. October is the beginning of the fiscal year. So we're good.
And unfortunately, there are a lot of holidays on Mondays. So, or fortunately, the way depending how you look at it. So,
yeah. Holiday next Monday.
What's next Monday?
Indigenous
Peoples Day. Yeah, I don't think we get that off of work.
How about Columbus Day? Do you get
that one? Definitely not.
Selden's going old school. Yeah.
Do you get Casimir Pulaski Day? No, you're not from Chicago.
No, don't even know.
No, but he gets some kind of crazy Patriots Appreciation Day or something like that. What the hell is that Boston holiday you guys get?
So Patriots Day has nothing to do with the New England Patriots. It's because patriotism started in Boston. So yes, but that ironically is not celebrated by companies like where I work now. The head company is not headquartered outside of Massachusetts, so they don't give us that off. But when I was at the startup that got acquired by them, it's a Massachusetts-based company, and we got Patriots Day off. So
do you just say you run through the streets saying the Redcoats are coming, or what do you?
What do you do? Two if by land, one if by sea.
It actually coincides with the
Boston Marathon, right?
The April vacation week and the Boston Marathon is that Monday. So it's aligned for various reasons. That way, kids can go watch the marathon. They're already on school vacation, and then their parents can actually take them and have giant crowds, and it's cool.
Cool.
All right. Well,
let's do a show.
Now that we got the small talk out of the way, let's just go right in the show proper.
We were just shooting the shit. I don't know.
And if you want to jump in chat right now and join us live, which it seems retro, feel free, go ahead, drop something in the chat, and we'll try to talk about it. But other than that, we're just going to jump right in the mailbag for feedback and questions from our last episode. And remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Mount Paul E. comments, your show is so dope, my fave.
Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks.
Appreciate it. As nice as that is, I could maybe use a Y, or
well, there's a Y right there after Paul.
Why. I guess there is a Y after Paul. But your show is so dope, my fave. The best part is D Smooth. Something like that. Just one more sentence to clarify.
Something true.
Your show is so dope. I get my favorite recipes from it. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh, wrong podcast. Sorry.
But yeah,
thanks,
it was a nice comment either way. But if any of you want to make a nice comment like that, just give us a little more. Just if you're already going to give us the tip, go full shaft. Yeah. That's what Selden always says. So yes.
Yeah, that's my motto.
All right. Next up, Army Dancer asks, what are your earliest memories of video games in your life?
I'm going back to I got to go back to the Atari, I think. I vividly remember playing Pac-Man and Pitfall a lot. I mean, a lot. So Frogger was in there too. You know, the
Yep,
classics.
yep, yep.
There's memories of E.T. and little Indiana Jones.
Yes,
But
yep.
yeah,
I would say earliest. I mean, I had a Pong machine from like some neighbor who was selling it at a garage sale, and I had 2600, but I didn't really have any games for it. My buddy had a 2600 and a 7800 Atari. Played those a lot. I had a lot of gaming going on at bowling alleys when my dad went bowling.
Okay.
The bowling alley had an arcade, and so I'd go in the arcade the whole time and play slash watch other people play because I didn't always get that much cash to play with. But I remember all those games, and so whenever I go into an arcade and it doesn't smell like smoke, it doesn't feel right because the bowling alleys were like caked in
Yep,
smoke back
yep.
then. So yeah, it was a
Nice.
lot of that and NES. I used to my friends came or our family friends came in to town and had an NES one time and hooked it up to our TV so they could play it and we could play it. And that got me hooked and I wanted one right after that forever until my parents
Nice.
finally got it for me. But in the meantime, I made some like fake like cut out fake paper NES stuff and pretended I was playing it.
Oh,
I was like
nice. Wow.
seven. I was like seven or something. I would like tape to the TV, put like a picture on the TV, pretend I was playing it. Yeah, because I
There
didn't
is
have one.
nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah,
This
no.
explains a lot.
It
Yes.
was hey, I was crafty, you know, what are you
I
gonna
guess
say?
you were
So
crafty, yes.
yeah, how about you, Derek?
Well, I remember when I was super young, my parents already had a Magnavox Odyssey, which was like before the 2600. It was like it had a light gun,
Hmm.
uh, and it was like you actually had to cock it to shoot it. Like it was such a
Wow.
weird dynamic. But I wasn't allowed to play that. And then I remember when my dad got uh, the the first 2600 when I was like 3 or 4, and he was like, "This is mine." He's like, "But I'll let you play some things on it." And so we played. I remember playing Combat,
yeah.
and then eventually we got Pitfall, and I was in the Pitfall Harry Club because I sent him a picture of me crushing the game, and they sent me the little patch and everything else. But played all
Nice.
those games, and then yeah, by the time I got to the NES Shadow, and I was a little older. I remember I was like 12 or maybe 10, 12, 13, and I was going to this local computer club that I would uh, go to with my dad and my neighbor, and we would go there, and they brought one of the early NES prototypes for the US there, and that is the place where the guy that was showing it off to our local computer club of like 200 people uh, showed us all of like, this is where you can break through the ceiling, this is how you get to the warp zone. So when it finally came home, I was like, oh, I know this. Yeah, we're gonna go over here, we're gonna jump through the ceiling here, and yeah. So yes, I had
Nice.
some early spoilers, but yeah, it was really. I wouldn't say we ended up breaking back out that Magnavox Odyssey at some point just to fuck around with it because it also had like a Pong version on there and some other stuff, but
Mhm.
um, it was really the 2600, and I would say by the time we were done with the 2600, we probably had maybe 100 to 150 games for it. Like it was,
That's sick.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those knockoff or side games that came out that were super cheap probably
yep,
helped with that too.
yep,
Yeah, that's
yep,
kind of what killed Atari was
yes, yeah,
all that. That's why Nintendo had the lockout chip put
yep,
in.
yep. And
You
I
can't
still
make it.
remember how controversial it was when Activision started making games for it, and they're like, "You can't do that; it's not your thing." And they're like, "Well, no, we did. It plugs right in when the game starts."
Yeah, so I
And
can.
and that's when you had Pitfall, you had whatever that one where you flew the bomber one. It was like a side scrolling bomber thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can't remember the names of lots of these games, but there was
Choplifter I liked a lot, but I don't think
yeah,
that's what that was.
no, but there was a subset of games that I played the shit out of. I also beat Asteroids, and I remember like
Wow.
my hands were sweating, and like you could pause for a little bit, And then like, so my parents were bringing me paper towels and I'm drying my hands because you're working and then
You're working that stick, right?
Yeah. See, just yeah.
It sounds like a personal thing to me.
But yeah, that was a fun era. So that's, I guess we all started roughly around the same time, except for young boy Shadow over there. He's a little younger.
Well, I mean,
us, so, yeah.
I was playing Pong in 2600 for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't play the Magna. I didn't play the Odyssey, but
yeah. Now you mentioned that like I was the same with you. Like the only arcade we had in town was like at a bowling alley. Like all the bowling alleys had arcades in them.
Yep.
But we didn't have a dedicated like arcade store. Like,
no.
Did you have one smooth up by you anywhere or no?
So we had one at a mini golf place that we could ride our bikes to, and it started with two arcade games, Pac-Man and Asteroids, and then they realized that was a huge moneymaker, and then they expanded the size of their building just to load with arcade games. And then I remember my mom and all the moms in the neighborhood started some kind of fucking petition to get them shut down because this was a problem apparently.
Whoa.
And eventually they did shut down within like 2 years of that. So yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, our bowling alley was kind of the same way.
See, that's my secret origin story. That's like someone it shot the Waynes, but it was my arcade, and then I brought it back, and yes.
So that's what our bowling alley started out with. Like I think it was 2 cabinet games. I forget what they were. They're like on the outside, right by the entrance, and then all of a sudden they started getting so popular. All of a sudden they blew out like the storage of the store, and they took that over.
No tables anymore.
Then they blew the store out, and then like all of a sudden it was all video games in there, and it was crazy, but it was great.
Nice. Yeah, it was a 3-minute bike ride for me. So yeah.
There you go. We had a couple we had some in the mall, I think. We had a arcade, Aladdin's Castle.
Aladdin's Castle, yes. We had an Aladdin's Castle as well, yes.
Yeah. In a couple of the malls, I think. But I didn't really go there often because I couldn't get there. But the bowling alley, I could ride my bike to. Nice. And also the airport, which is right by me, had some arcade games right in the lobby. Because you could just go in there back then. I don't know if you could do that now.
Probably not. No.
Yeah, our mall got one of the early Chuck E. Cheeses, so that's the only arcade that was at the mall by us. So.
Yeah, I guess that's
Chuck
true.
E. Cheese was there too, but that was a little later in the 80s. But yeah. And that was my good buddy Nolan Bushnell was one of the founders of Chuck E. Cheese. So yeah.
Yeah, we had Showbiz Pizza, which eventually turned into, or they bought Chuck E. Cheese and they rebranded everything Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes,
but I like to Showbiz Pizza with that's a whole other topic. With all the animatronics and stuff.
Yeah, yes. Well, Chuck E. Cheese had the animatronics too.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they just had different ones. Yeah.
Yes. They were all creepy. It's all Five Nights at
Freddy's. They were all
shit.
creepy. Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah. Now those things are ticket machine games, and that's all that.
Yep. That's all it is.
There's no video games in Chuck E. Cheese's anymore. So.
Nope. Or photo booth games. Yeah. Yep.
Sadly, they do have skee ball though, which is a ticket game, but it's still kind of it's old school.
Even Dave and Buster's is the same way. It's 80% ticket games and 20% game games. So
50,000 tickets, you can get a trinket.
Yeah, I think between Evan and I, we have enough tickets to get like 2 Xboxes, but we just keep saving them. So in case one breaks,
for the next Xbox.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Charisma Devil asks, how much media, non-games, do you consume from Xbox versus other sources? I saw that this month Game Pass Perks has an option to get Saw for free, Saw the movie, but until now I don't think I've consumed video content directly on the Xbox, only via apps on the console. So I actually did some prep work on this before the show. I looked at my library. I have all of the Felicia Day show, the one.
The Guild.
The Guild, yes. That's all somehow on my Xbox. And then I have like 4 random movies. And then I pulled down Saw today. Even though I have Saw everywhere else, I was like, it's in my perks. I'm getting it. So.
Yeah, I think I might have rented 1 or 2 movies, maybe bought a movie bunch of years ago, but they really kind of closed down that movie marketplace, or at least they don't publish it like they used to push it pretty hard.
They used to pimp it hard, yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I consume a lot of media through the Xbox, but it's through like Netflix or Disney
Yeah, through
Plus
the
or
apps. Yeah.
through the apps and stuff like that. But directly from the marketplace, I don't think I consume anything really anymore.
Yeah, I had the guild I think from there at one point,
Yep,
but I
yep.
think that it might have got removed at some point. I'm not sure. They kind of were funky with some of that video, and I think that's probably why they kind of went away from pushing it because they remove it because of licenses and people
Yeah.
get pissed
Yeah, because I
and
felt
they
like
don't
I had
want to
all the
deal with
seasons
it.
of the guild. Now I only have one season. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I eventually got it in other means, and so I have
yeah,
it on
yeah,
my Plex
yeah.
somewhere. I downloaded all the episodes of so there was a TV show that was out an Alan Wake prequel
Oh, of
TV
course
show
you would
that
have
came
gone
out. It
this
was
way.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it was like 6 episodes came out right before the game launched, and so I had all those, but they kind of look shitty now, and somebody went through and
Mm,
up-resed them, so I have those versions, but they're still on there. Otherwise, I
nice.
haven't really gotten many. I probably got something when it was free, like that Saw thing. I
Yeah.
probably got something similar where it was like, oh, it's free for the day, and you just grab it, but
Yeah,
not
I had The
really. And
Incredibles was one of the ones on there, so maybe that was
there you
one of the
go.
free ones at some point. But yeah,
Yeah.
no rhyme
I
or
mean,
reason to it.
I don't
How
even
about
watch
would
TV
you
on there.
consider the clips that I make of like excellent kills, and then I pull them down from there to make my
Red versus
No,
blue.
I would not
like my
consider
own
Red versus
personal
Blue. I would consider,
red
but
verse? Yeah,
Selden's clips, no, from the Xbox Studio or whatever
yeah,
they called that thing.
or
Yeah,
even now you can still drop clips from your gameplay, and then you can
hmm
upload them
Right.
and then manipulate them into videos or
no, yeah, I completely forgotten
TikToks.
that they were trying to be a competing video source for like, yeah, buy it from your cable provider or buy it from Microsoft on Xbox or buy it from Voodoo or yeah, like I probably have like 2 movies on each of those services somewhere that I've never logged back into. But nowadays you don't need to. Just
I almost never watch any of
Plex.
yeah.
Yes.
I almost never use it for apps. I use my Shield TV or my whatever for Netflix and everything else. I don't really watch stuff on my Xbox. I just play games
Yep.
anymore. But
Yeah,
it
Plex
used to
seems to
be.
work better through my Xbox on my one TV than the native app on the TV. So that's
Yep.
why I use the Plex through that.
Well, the
But
TV
Yeah,
is
well, I mean,
usually some
it's
shitty
powerful.
Android phone, basically, that's in the
Yeah,
TV that runs the
sometimes.
entire TV OS. So, yeah, you're probably better off with
Yeah.
something with a real CPU. But,
Yeah, Xbox is a lot more robust. Do you remember when next Netflix first came on 360 though, and they had
oh,
the
and
you could sit
you,
in the audience,
yes. So,
you could like
so
have a
this
room.
actually happened when
watch together.
this was
That was cool.
When Tiff and I were dating, and she still lived in North Carolina, and I lived up in Massachusetts. This is how we watched all of Dexter, and we would sit down, and you'd watch it, and you see the screen. You'd both walk in, you'd both sit down,
Yeah.
and then all of a
Mystery
sudden,
Science 3000.
like because of the internet and how Xbox Live worked, all of a sudden she'd get up and start walking. I was like, "Why are you leaving? Why are you?" And she's like, "I didn't do anything. It's just something wrong." but but yes, but it was a fun way to watch stuff. So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
sacrifice that little bit of screen. Like if they brought that back now, I would watch so much shit that way.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, now they
Off a
have
big
like
TV,
the
you can sacrifice like
yeah.
3% of it to be that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
they have Watch Together on like Prime and
Yeah,
I
yep.
think Disney is
Even
up too,
Plex
but
has watched
not the
together. Yeah.
same. Yeah, it's not the same. Do you know if your avatar's in there?
Yeah, no, it was a cool thing at the time. But yeah,
Yep.
great question, Charisma Devil. Probably better
Yeah.
than whatever Altius has teed up. But
Oh
we'll
man,
we'll
don't
go.
Wow.
don't start
Well,
this.
all right, I'm not going to start another spat between you two. But all right, last but certainly
Us?
not least, Altius asks, have you heard anything about the rumor that Tencent and the Guillemot brothers are like we're already off to a slow start here. The Guillemot brothers are considering buying out Ubisoft and taking it private. I haven't seen anything concrete on this.
I don't think
I
10 Cent needs to go in with anybody to buy Ubisoft out. I think they have enough fucking money.
they're doing really bad right now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
From their from I'm sorry, Ubisoft is from
Oh,
their
yeah.
like most recent
Oh yeah. They're trying to stop the
investors thing.
hemorrhaging. Yeah.
They were like, yeah, we're not going to hit whatever, and our thing's not going to launch until May now or March. Yeah, they're not doing well. And none of their Assassin's Creed stuff has been doing that great, and they pushed Assassin's Creed till I think March. So yeah, I don't know, man. But I hope that I've just go ahead.
The Guillemot brothers are the guys that are like the Ubisoft guys before they went public, right?
Are they?
I thought
have
so.
no idea.
I don't know.
I thought that's why it's a French name, and that's the only reason they would be getting in bed with Tencent. So
is Tencent French?
I thought
Tencent's
Chinese.
I thought they were Chinese.
China, yeah.
Why would they want to get in?
Because they got all the money.
Because they need money. Yes. So So if you look at it that way, Tencent with tons of money, the Guillemos, they already fucked up once, but they don't want to lose it again. So they team up their money. They buy Ubisoft. They take it private. No longer have to deal with shareholder concerns or any of that stuff. And like I said, I've only seen the rumors on this too, so I don't know what's going on with this, but it seems like a logical possibility, especially with like what Shadow was saying, all this bad shit that's going on at Ubisoft right now. So
I know that Microsoft just bought a lot of companies, but even that, I was like, I don't know. I don't like the consolidation of everything. So it's going to be like 3 companies on everything. It's going to be like Coke and Pepsi, and that's it. That's all you can do. So
no, and you still have that gross Southern drink there, Dr. Pepper. They're neither of those. Yes. Yeah.
What do you got against Dr. Pepper? That thing's delicious.
No, I love Dr. Pepper. My wife
wonderful
hates it.
flavor.
It's prune juice. Yeah. You guys love prune juice. Yeah. The secret ingredient. Yeah.
Is it?
It could be.
Eric said it. It's on the internet. It's got to be true.
Oh, starting rumors.
Could be. Might not be.
Who knows?
It could be. So that's all I'm saying.
Also, Drano in it. What? Wait, what?
No. You can't put Drano in something. That's poison.
No.
But prune juice, gross but safe. So yeah.
No, I haven't heard about that, but it could be possible. Ubi's not doing well.
Yep. So. Anything is possible.
Anything's possible.
So, all right. Well, that was an okay question, Altius. Almost right up there with Charisma Devil. So you keep giving it your all, and we'll see how you do.
Trying to lose us, Altius? Come on.
I'm not. I'm just trying to bring him back to his prime.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, if any of you have questions or comments, concerns about the show, you want to ask us something, you want to tell us something, you want to compliment a previous person that sent in a comment, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over into what we're playing? Selden, what have you been playing this week?
I have been playing The First Descendant. Most of my game's time is dedicated to The First Descendant. Having a blast in that game. I can't say anything more about it. It's just a lot of fun. It's definitely got that Destiny feel. I've said that before. And having a lot of time, a good time with that. Outside of that, I've been playing. I picked up the Atari 50th Anniversary Edition. Because I did get a reviewer's copy of the DLC that came down, and then I was like, well, I guess I should buy the game if I got the reviewer's copy of the DLC. You didn't bother to tell them you didn't have the game when you were pitching them to send you the DLC? No, I figured if they sent it, I'd get it. So
they would have just sent you the game.
The funny thing is, like, I was like, I wanted to buy the game anyway, so I knew I was eventually going to buy it. But I was looking, and like digital, it was still selling for $40 digitally. Like, and there was no coupon codes or anything like that. So I actually broke down and I bought a disc and put a disc into my Xbox.
What the
Because I was able to get
this is the face. This is.
Like, I was able to get the disc at $20. I was like, I might as well save myself $20. I actually used the disc drive on my Xbox Series X. So
that's the what the fuck face.
Yeah,
but
This story has me saying,
And what the fuck?
Yes. And you know what? I'm not sad that I haven't used it before, because that Xbox DVD drive is fucking loud when it's installing a game. Well, I thought it was chewing through the wall. It was that loud. So
that's just fucked up, Selden. I'm like, think about all the stuff you spend $20 on that doesn't even fucking matter.
Well, my Series X is no longer a virgin. It's been violated, so
you can't resell that on the market. No. You're like
it's tainted.
Oh, Xbox Series X. Yeah. Yep.
But other than that, yeah, the DLC content is great. It just adds on to all the wonderful gameplay that's on the Atari 50th edition. And nice. I've been going back after I played the DLC. I went back and played some of the earlier stuff, and man, like the Xbox controller is not conducive to some of those old games.
No, like, I noticed that playing through the 15th anniversary cut.
Like it just Breakout, you can't without like a roller or the spinner
trackball,
trackball or the spinner. You can't play Breakout or some Missile Command. You can't play those like that you used to. So
no, it's hard to stop the movement of your little paddle going back and forth. But so it goes to show that's why, like when people build their own main cabinets that play like 1,000 games, they always put on like a bunch of controllers and some spinny wheels and trackballs. It covers across the bases. So
yeah, it really makes me want to go out and get some kind of controller that I could play those games with, but I'm not going to drop the money on those. I'll just move on to another game. So,
fair enough.
What about you there, Shadow? What have you been playing?
I'm still been playing some Forza Horizon 5. I've been kind of busy, so I haven't had a chance to play a ton. Just doing my dailies. I'm actually up to 40 days in a row my achievement streak right now, so I'm trying to keep that rolling. I play a little bit of Roblox, not too much, just enough to like get the 20 days in a row playing, but all you have to do is boot it up and then close it. Because I don't really like playing Roblox. I booted up Zelda, but I haven't started it really yet, so I just wanted to list it to remind myself to play it because I do love Zelda. And
I'm sure you do. That's Survivor. Why you played it so much.
I do. I've been super busy, so Jedi Survivor I played some of. Just I got to like the next part. I got through kind of the intro, and it's fun. Like the gameplay is fun. I like those sort of games. So I think once I get back into that, I'll probably kind of blow through that because it can't be more than, I don't know, 10, 12 hours, I'd imagine. Good times though. I like that stuff, and I haven't.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And I haven't played any Outlaws. I haven't bought Outlaws yet. Selden mentioned that earlier. Someday I'll probably wait till EA. It goes on EA Play though to play it because I have way too much of this to play, and there's no point in buying it. You know, I shouldn't have bought Jedi Survivor because I barely played it, and then it came to EA Play. So, what are you gonna do? How about you, Derek?
It's been a busy couple weeks for me with parents' weekends and all this stuff. So, I just fucked around with my Artemis bow a little more. But you brought something up. Speaking of like. Now that my golf season is over, my golf league, GBMS and I have been talking about playing a game before the new Call of Duty comes out. And I realized that I had bought like the ultimate God level edition of Modern Warfare 3, and I've never fired it up. So,
wow.
Yeah, so that's I think that'll be our game for Thursday. Jeez. So, yeah. Whatever.
Why like the
$120 version was. Yeah.
Why?
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
And now it's probably gonna be free pretty soon.
Yeah, probably. Well, except for all the shit that I got on top of it for free. So
that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that'll be the plan for this Thursday. But try to get back into some gaming now that some of my it's tough. Like Monday nights we do the podcast.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. And if not, there's a reason and there's something else that's going on. Wednesdays, I have band practice, and that goes late. Thursdays, I had golf league that would start at 3 in the afternoon and go till 8 or 9 at night. And by the time you get home from that, you're just like exhausted. And then Friday starts the weekend, and then, you got to watch wrestling on Friday night, and then Saturday you probably go out to dinner, you do some stuff, and or you have activities over the weekend. So now that we're getting towards the fall/winter, some nights are going to start opening back up. But
Cool. Yeah, it's getting a little chilly here. Starting to. It was really hot though, so it's kind of off and on. It's like 85, 60.
Yeah, that's kind of how we've
Same.
been. I looked at the forecast for our next week, and it's like 62, 76, 63, 79. And then one day we get over 80, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is fall now?
It's October.
Like, make that day Halloween so that I can go sit outside again and give candy to the kids. Yes, but
actually, the worst part about being on the east side of the east coast of the Eastern Division, the daylight saving time.
Oh, it
gets dark at like, it's going to start getting dark at like 4:00 now. Like it's ridiculous. So there's like no time to do anything after unless you're doing something inside. So
yeah. Even at the end of golf league, it was like if you had one of the later team tee times in the league, like you're like, oh, we got to pick up the pace here, otherwise we're not going to see shit when we're coming in. So yep.
Yeah, that's probably like late November for us. Starts to get around 4:30. So.
Yeah, I think we need more granularity in time zones, but because even my parents who are in the west coast of Florida, like I'll talk to my dad in the winter, and he's like, because he usually calls me when I'm on my way to work, and he's like, oh, is it dark there still? And I was like, oh, of course, like it's still night. And he's like, no, look, and then he'll switch to FaceTime, and it's like bright out, and there's light outside, and I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. We're in the same time zone, but yeah.
Yeah, some of the time zone, it depends what end you're on of the time zone. So.
Really, Massachusetts and maybe down to parts of New York should be in the Atlantic time zone, but we haven't dipped into that yet. So
we're trying to get rid of time zones. Come on.
Well, you still need time zones. We're trying to get rid of non-daylight savings time.
There's an Atlantic time zone? I thought there was just Eastern.
We just go to Greenwich
That's
Mean
what
Time.
Newfoundland is on, and
okay.
Yeah.
We all just go to GMT, so we're all in the same time zone.
Yeah.
And then we have to remember what minus we are? No,
everyone's on the same time. You just have to adjust your schedule.
That makes it real easy. Like, hey, let's meet at 7. And
it's 7 everywhere at that time.
It's 7 p.m. everywhere. Some places it's pitch black, some places it's bright.
And
7 p.m.
I guess. But
no, we should not do that.
No, that's the dumbest idea I've heard all day.
That's very dumb.
Yeah, I think just getting rid of non-daylight
universal time zone
is good. Yeah.
One time zone.
Yeah. There's a reason why they created time zones, Selden. It's because of that.
For trains.
It's because of something.
All right. On that, why don't we hop on over to new releases? So this covers last week and this week. First new release out this week is SpongeBob SquarePants: The Patrick Star Game. This is out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, Switch, and the PC. As much as I love SpongeBob, I'm not going to play a SpongeBob game.
I think what they need to do is they need to make a stoner version of a SpongeBob SquarePants type game. Like something that appeals to the stoner.
Well, that's what the last dynamic SpongeBob game was. Yeah. That one appealed. This one does not seem to. No.
No, this is a hard pass for me. So
nothing here. No.
Right.
My son likes SpongeBob, but I don't think he'd play this.
No. Fair enough.
Now, isn't Wendy's doing like a Patrick burger or like the Krabby Patty?
It's called the Krabby Patty, Selden. Like you've never watched fucking SpongeBob, but you know what? Plankton is gonna fucking just go to there. He's gonna pick one up, no problem. He's gonna have the recipe. This is just has catastrophe written all over it. So yeah.
But like this should be like those. What was it? Taco Bell that had the free games for a while.
Yeah.
Like that. This should have been tied into
Burger
like
King because it had Sneak
Burger
King.
King. Yeah.
Sneak King. I had that.
Yeah, I had all three of them. Yes,
and there was a racing one, I think, too.
So if they broke this up and brought this into like a promotion like that to cross promote between all of it, then that might be something that you could pick up or something like that. But as a full game by itself, no, pass.
Yep. All right. Next new release out this week is Metaphor Refantasio. This is out for the Xbox, Fantasio, out for the Xbox, PlayStation, the PC. This is from the same guy that led the studio that made the Persona games, like Persona 4. It's a JRPG,
yeah, I
not
was gonna say
my
it's got to be
style at all.
super Japanese influence type game. So.
Yeah, this one was one of the ones. It was on the sizzle reel, I think, during E3, or not E3, but whatever it was, the
Summer
summer
of Games.
Games Fest, or
Hmm.
it was kind of a big thing they were pushing. So I don't know. I didn't play the. Isn't this like a remake?
I don't think so.
No.
No, this is a new IP from the
Okay,
Persona guy. Yep, yep. I
gotcha.
don't
I
know
just
why it's
figured the
called Refantasio, but yeah,
Fantasio, yeah,
it's probably some shitty translation of a word that,
probably.
yeah. And
It
now
seemed like people were excited for it, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but hey, if you're into that stuff, more power to you, you know?
you do you. Yep.
You do you. Cool,
All
cool.
right. Next new release out this week is Starship Troopers Extermination. Also out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PC. This is a FPS Starship Troopers game, up to 16-player multiplayer. It's been in early access for a little bit, and now they're finally
Long
releasing
time.
it. They've gone from 8 players to 12 to 16. It's our background image on the show this week for anyone if possibly viewing instead of listening. Uh, uh, Probably not
Looks
for
like
me, but it looks pretty cool.
there'll be a single player. It says
Yes,
there's be a
there's a
single
single
player
player. Yep,
with
yep.
oh, okay. It's already in there.
Yeah, and Casper Van Dien also does voice in the single player.
Yeah,
Who
that's
is
cool.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait for reviews on this, but this looks like something I would like to pick up. Just because I like that genre
Yeah, it's
of
unique.
man versus bugs type thing. So,
Oh, is that a
Yeah.
full-on genre now?
well,
Man versus bugs?
sci-fi,
Oh,
Yeah,
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
Okay, yes.
sci-fi man versus bugs invasion type
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Something that's not an alien game.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't like Alien, but mix it up a little bit. So
Yeah. Bring back a 30-year-old IP. Yeah.
sure.
yeah. This is Helldivers ran its course. I think people are still playing Helldivers 2, I guess, but that's what drove me to the Helldivers 2 in the first place, was because
It
it
was
had
kind of
that
like a
Starship Trooper
fake Starship
type thing.
Troopers. Yes, yeah.
And
yeah.
it's nice that this is a 16-player multiplayer, instead of like you just go in with your squad of 4 type thing. So it might be a little bit better for group wise. So
Nice. All right, and the last new release out this week is Transformers Galactic Trials, out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, and the PC. This is kind of like a multi-genre game. Like there's some racing in it, there's some shooting in it, because Transformers, some of them turn into vehicles and they race, and it's it's weird.
in disguise.
Yeah. And I'm not sure which universe this fits in, whether it's the comic universe, the cinematic universe, the animated universe, the Beast universe that's our newest one in the movies. Like I don't know where this sits, but I know it's certainly not for me.
The box art looks like it's more of the cartoony version of it. But,
yes.
Okay.
It's racing, looks like.
Yeah, some racing,
It's like a racing game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arcade racing and combat.
I think with all the other Transformer games that have been out, it's not where I'm looking to go. I'd rather watch the movies than play the game of it, though.
Stab with Wiki. Let's go.
No,
Autobots.
he's been gone forever.
I know. Yes, yeah. He kind of went nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played any Transformer games really ever. The first movie, the cartoon, was one of my first. I think it was the first movie I was
Transformers
taken to when I was a kid.
movie. Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think I was taken to as a kid, and I don't remember being upset, but I know a lot of people were.
Because there was someone that got killed. No
somebody
spoilers.
got killed,
but
so they could make more toys.
Someone got killed, Sam.
So they could make more toys and
yes.
make more leader toys. So you had to buy those too.
Yep.
Screw you.
All right, so none of us give a shit about that. So
yeah, it's also a weird mixing like a first or third person shooter with a racing type game.
it is, yes, yeah.
It looks almost like a rollerblades game, and then they change into robots and change into cars.
Yeah. No, it's choices were made.
Yep. We'll see.
Check,
Metacritic.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big judge. So
yeah.
All right, on that, why don't we roll into gaming news? If you're in chat right now, you want to drop something in there for us to talk about, do it. Otherwise, we're just going to jump right in, and I'll start off with the first story. Oh, and before I get into speaking of first story, dig.com, Dig Nation now is back in full effect. They're
really?
on their 4th episode of Dig Nation Reloaded or Dig Nation 2.0. It's Kevin Rose and Alex Albrecht again, and I was listening to one of the episodes the other day, and we got to next story, which is where I commandeered that from. Yes, so they're still trying to buy back all their old names, domain names, and everything else they let go defunct. So now they're like a dignation.show because they lost dignation.com. No one uses Dig anymore, so they say, we'll talk about some of the top stories on dig.com. And now they say, we'll talk about some of the top stories on the internet. Because they let Dig was like the original Reddit with the, how many digs did you get? And we used to go on Dig all the time when we were too early on in Tools Play. So, but that was just an aside. Now we're back to first story. Halo developer 343 Industries rebrands itself Halo Studios. Now, I think this is possibly one of the greatest things to ever happen, because I thought when Halo came out of Bungie, it was pretty fucking awesome. Bungie equals Halo. And then when 343 Industries came out, I said, that's the dumbest name for a company working on Halo ever. Despite the 343 connection, dumb as shit. No one calls anything Industries anymore. You're a studio. You're not an industry. And now they've gone back to the roots, and they said, yeah, fucking, we're going to do this shit, and we're going fucking Halo-centric. And obviously, I don't think we have the story here, right?
Well, I mean...
before I don't spoil it, yeah. And now we saw that Halo is going to Unreal Engine 5. They're ditching their fucking 25, 30-year-old engine that they've been band-aiding over the years. And if you have not gone out and seen the Halo footage done in Unreal Engine 5 right now, it's gonna blow your fucking dick off. It is insane. It's Master Chief in 4K, so fucking fluid, doing all the shit. Like, it's amazing looking. It's how you remember Halo looking on the original Xbox in your fucking old man state, because it didn't look anything like that, but that's how you remember it, and now it finally looks that way. So I think this was the first step into changing how Halo games are made, and not just Halo games. Other games are coming out of Halo Studios, but I think this is fantastic news, and fuck 343.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I think it was Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. You can slap guarantee on a box of shit, but it's still just a box of shit. No. I want to see what 343 does with it. I want to see it, even if they rebrand themselves
you
as
mean
Halo Studios. It's just a name. It's the power behind the name if they can pull it off. I've seen the Unreal 5 engine's supposed renderings or what's going on, but they're in the back of my head. I'm still thinking this maybe a little bit of CGI pumped into this, and I want to see what the final product comes out as. So,
I mean, it's Unreal 3, it's Unreal 5, so I think it's fine. But I don't know. I 343, I never liked the name, even though I like 343 Guilty Spark from the original game. It was just a weird.
Yeah,
I don't know why they went with that.
Yeah.
Weird choice. However, it is weird to name for me to name your studio after the game you make. I don't know. Just sort of like a double, like Halo Studios makes Halo. Okay, I don't know. I
No.
like Bungie, but they're gone. So I don't know. It's okay, but I'm glad that they're kind of moving on
Nope.
with their engine.
Hmm.
Just making it look nice. I hope it looks nice, but also it needs to have the gameplay. It needs to
Yep.
be, you know, you need to be able to. It has to have good feel to it, because otherwise, it
Yep.
just looks pretty.
Yep.
Um,
I agree with that completely, but I think that
it's
that's where they're going. I hope.
it seems like they said they're focusing more on multiplayer, I think, and not so much
Hmm.
on story, which I like the story, and that was my problem with Infinite was, well, two problems. Was that there weren't any maps, but the next problem was there wasn't a whole lot of story that anyone knew, and you're like, oh, just wait, because it's a whole saga, and it's gonna start off and it's gonna get into the story later, and then that never happened. So
No,
that was a bummer.
and the non-linear like open world jump to different parts of the story thing. Nah,
Yeah, it
I
just
wasn't a fan of
didn't do
that.
it for
No,
me.
no, no,
No,
no,
no. So we'll see, but uh, good.
no.
I hope they do something good with it.
Me too.
But I'm going to take that point. I'm going to jump to the next story.
Next story.
From gamesindustry.biz. 53% of gamers prefer single player games. Almost 3/4 of those age 55 plus prefer to play solo. This is it. This is, I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, because they don't want to deal with all the younger generation that have a lot better
Timmy's.
snap skills than
Yeah,
they'd have
yeah.
now. But I mean, the industry for a while was pumping out, multiplayer, because that's what people said they wanted to play more. But even now, like this article goes on to say that ages between 20 and 24, they prefer to play PvP games at 43%. So I'm like, even that, I mean, there's still a large movement back to single player games that's out there. So I'm glad this, because I've always been a fan of single player games. I love the story, and like as you said, like Halo lost it in that last one. I mean,
Yeah.
they did a bunch of little short stories that didn't really congeal into a giant story, and you really need to have that nice driven story to keep the game moving and really build the universe that you're playing in. So
Oh,
I'm glad. This doesn't surprise me, and I would be glad if the industry moved back towards more single player type games. So, how
yeah.
about you
See,
guys?
but see, a part of this though, I still feel like this number is skewed because, as we've seen, they changed the definition of gamers to like people that also play like the Zynga games and all this stuff. So like,
Or like the Netflix games.
yes, yeah. So there's a bunch of people that are included in gamers that were not previously included in that category 20 years ago. So
Well, you can't gatekeep them out. You gotta let them in. They're still playing games.
now we're gatekeeping them.
Yeah, you're gatekeeping.
Yeah. So your mom that's playing a fucking slot machine game on her phone, single player. Yep,
Yeah.
that's what. Yeah, I'm not sure that counts, but
I just think that once you get to a certain age, it's harder to meet up with people that all want to play at the same time online that and you don't really want to play with online randos usually. We
yeah,
used to do that a lot, but then you'd kind of pick up people as you went along that seemed cool, and they would become your friends list, and then you like you guys. I used to play with you guys. So, but I don't play online that much with people anymore. Even my closest friends, we don't really like get together online and play. I'm usually playing by myself just because I get on when I get on, and I don't have
uh,
to
it's not
figure out, oh,
appointment
when are you going to be
gaming.
on?
Yes,
When
yeah.
are you going to be on? Let's make a gaming night. I used to do that. Used to have a clan night and stuff, but that was 10, 15 years ago. So
See,
I
I
could
still
see
do
that
that with
that's,
GMS now, but then again,
yeah,
on the flip side, what you're saying, we're like, yeah, we're gonna go play fucking multiplayer, and the first thing we do, we start a party, and we don't hear anyone else in the game, and it's just the two of us talking.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it's a hybrid almost of the two.
I
But
mean, you're still playing online, but, and I do play online. I just don't always like, I don't know. It's more single player because then I can just start it and end it whenever I want. I don't have to worry about who am I letting down by not being there
yeah,
or
yeah.
leaving
Or like,
early
I
or
gotta go to
whatever.
bed, guys.
I gotta go to
That
bed.
that was
Oh, why are you
Selden through
leaving?
our entire Destiny
Why is Sullen
raid
walking
group.
into a wall?
I got
walking into a
I got
Slow
one more
walk.
in me, guys.
Slow
I got
walk.
one more. And then like we almost beat it, and then we're like, come on, Sullen, come on.
Just one more raid, Sullen.
This is
He's
when
like-
Sullen had
he's
to
like,
be
I
at work
got-
at 6 o'clock in
I
the
got
morning.
one
I was
more.
I was
I
getting
can-
up at like
I
4:30 to
can
get
do
to work
one
at
more.
6.
And that's the one that Sullen's
All
just
right, but
running
it
into
needs
the
to be
wall in the
Social
corner.
Slayer though. Just Social Slayer. None of the. Okay, big team. Okay.
No,
All
it
right.
was us trying to do raids, which was the worst because
Oh,
That was
I would completely blow
That's
my
hard.
assignment by slow
yes,
walk.
yeah.
yeah. As soon as like it's like Selden, you have to jump the platforms, and Selden's over in the corner just like running into the wall.
Yeah.
I wasn't the only one.
No. GVMS did that too. Yeah.
Tiff had some late nights that she'd be like, "That's it, I gotta go."
Yeah. You and Tiff in the same boat. Yeah. I'm not sure if that was a good defense, but yes. the early sleepers.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that a lot of my thing now is like I like to have progress. I like to have goals. I like to complete those goals, and then I've done it, and the game's complete. You can't do that with multiplayer games. It's like, I mean, you can sort of with like cosmetics and whatever, but overall, you just keep playing. There is no end to it. So
Yeah.
it's a little more stressful, not stressful, but I don't know what word to use to describe it, but it's like it never ends. I can never finish it. So it's a little bit of a weird stress there, and I like things like I'm complete, and that's single player. So
That's because you're an achievement guy. That's why I
am.
loved.
Well, that's,
I love the Halos where your level would go up and down,
Oh, I
and
hated
that's
that.
all that mattered. It was
I
like,
hated that.
and that's why we created our second fake accounts to play with our shit friends, so that
yeah,
D Smooth didn't play with. Oh wait, we're gonna play
You-
together. Yeah, let me switch to
you
D
fake
Rough,
50s,
and
you
then
fake 50s.
I would switch from D Smooth to D Rough and play
Uh-huh.
with the lesser players, and then when it was like me and Jay and our usual crew, then back to D Smooth, and we'd play through there, and then someone would join the party, and we'd be like, oh yeah, just let me change up real quick. Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Now I think it kind of automatically adjusts, which is nice. But
Yep.
anyway,
All right, next story.
Switch emulator Ryujinx
Yeah,
kaput
I'm glad you picked this
after-
one because I can't pronounce that.
Yeah, Ryujinx, I guess Ryu like
No,
Street Fighter.
you like Street Fighter.
is kaput after Nintendo pressure. Yeah, so Nintendo has shut down another emulator, which was the other of the big two. Previously, another one got shut down a little bit ago, and now this one has two. This one seemed like they were not, I don't think, doing anything they could really get them on legally necessarily,
No.
except for the fact that they had shown something running on an emulator, like it was fat. I think they ran the new Zelda at 120 on an emulator on their computer, and they were showing that. And so they're like, okay, so they came to a deal with them, is what it says. They've offered an agreement. So basically, I think they've either paid them or they've.
It sounded
said,
like
okay,
it was
we're not
pay
gonna-
them, right? Or
It
or
sounds
not sue
like
them.
it.
But
It sounds
I thought
like
it
them, or
sounded
maybe
more
not
like
sue
pay
them.
them. Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Like
seems-
Nintendo
so-
paid Ryujinx or Ryujinx
It seems
paid.
like it, kind of like
Yes.
they would pay you to stop and give us all your stuff, and so then you're done.
Yes.
That's what it sounded like. It says yesterday, username was contacted by Nintendo and offered an agreement to stop working on the project, remove the organization of all related assets he's in control of. So yeah, so they were just assuming he's going to take it.
Very hostile takeover.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't get it. But so now, I mean, everything. If anybody has that software, they can still keep using it, but you can't get it. The GitHub's down now, and you can't get it officially from them. You can get it through other channels, I'm sure, but it won't be being worked on anymore. So Nintendo's been really, really cracking down on stuff lately, especially just cracking down on YouTubers even, and just like, oh, you showed a little bit of a game. It was on an emulator. Oh, we're gonna give a strike to you, and 3 strikes and you're out. So on YouTube, so you got to be careful with that stuff. But they're really cracking down. I don't know what their deal is right now. They're really being protective of their IP, but
yeah, Nintendo's
super
definitely
annoying.
making waves with their very aggressive approach to
the
people.
MCA takedowns and yes.
It says,
I mean, with the Pal World thing going on with that,
Oh,
and with this, and Nintendo's definitely stepping up. Like maybe they're ramping up for the next Switch
2
or 2 or whatever to protect the IP for whatever's coming out on that. So
yeah, I don't understand what the major sticking point would be to do it now. But
well, you saw at the end of the DS era all the carts that were out there, the hacker carts, and they lost a lot of revenue from all those hacker carts because nobody wanted to upgrade to the next system because they could get all the old games and everything brought onto the cart. So maybe they're looking at that saying, hey, we got to shut this shit down now so that we can prep for the next generation so we can get our consoles.
But this has been going on forever. Like I told you guys before, I had the thing called the Z64 that you popped into the cartridge slot in the N64.
Yeah.
And you put a zip disk in the front and you put the cartridge in the top that you rented from Blockbuster. You put copy to zip disk. Boom. That's done. Hey, next game, rented, Blockbuster, boom. And you could fit 20 games per zip disk, and then you had all the games, and you just played them right off of the zip disks. So
So you're the reason this is happening? Okay.
Yeah. I can take partial credit. I was a pioneer. Like I jumped on every technology I could. So yeah.
There you go. But it says it's issued a whopping 8,535 DMCA takedowns in May. Just try to get rid of all the Yuzu code, which is the original one that they took down. It's kind of crazy.
It's fucked up.
Anyway, yeah, Nintendo's gonna Nintendo.
They are.
That's pretty much the story. Stop. They're gonna Nintendo. Because that's all they got.
Next story. Epic details plans for Unreal Engine 6, which makes Unreal Engine 5 look like shit, and shares vision of a metaverse spanning Roblox, Minecraft, and Fortnite. Now, if that story alone doesn't make you say, like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, these are all creative games. They all have creative outlets to them. And Unreal Engine 5 is probably the greatest thing that anyone had ever seen as an engine for graphics. And from what's been shown early from Unreal Engine 6 makes it seem like it's even easier to create these fantastic games. And all of these games are ones that people do things outside of a linear game. Like there's creative modes, there's creativity in there. I think that this is kind of cool. Like, am I the only one that?
Well, they're all different companies, so I don't understand how they're all going to be working together.
Well, Fortnite is Epic, so
yeah, but Roblox and Minecraft are not.
They're not,
and Minecraft is Microsoft. Roblox is whatever the hell
whatever
Roblox
they
is.
are, yeah. But
I don't know how they're all going to be in one land or whatever.
Because I think that this is all about the engine, and it's like, hey, once you're in this engine, you can start leveraging all of these other things, and I think that's the selling point of everyone being on Unreal Engine 6. There's no like walled garden that you have to work within. So if you want to collab with something else, it makes it really easy to do. And imagine Roblox taking in, when you're defining these, like, because for those of you who don't know, Roblox is like a game design program where you need no skills and you can design all these crazy games. Like I've played like a Hunger Games version in Roblox and all this stuff. But imagine taking your Fortnite guys that you've spent so much time fucking dicking around and doing your stupid ass battle pass, and you got fucking Darth Vader or whatever, and now you take him into Roblox and you're fighting in the Hunger Games.
I think somebody's watched too much Wreck-It Ralph.
This is Wreck-It Ralph, exactly. Yes, yeah.
I think this is a Generation Alpha thing that they're going to be pushing to those people, to those kids.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Yes.
I mean, my son's 10, and he would dig whatever that is. I'm sure he plays all those. So he's playing Fortnite right now, I think, actually upstairs.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, to tie it all into like a metaverse environment where you can just walk down the street and you're all of a sudden in a different game. It's kind of cool sounding, but it just, I don't know. It's going to take a bit to get to that point.
Selden doesn't want your peanut butter in his chocolate. Yeah.
But you
got chocolate in my peanut butter.
Once again, Halo Studios is going to be out late because everybody's going to be moving to Unreal Engine 6 when they're around 5. So
I mean, didn't 5 just come out kind of recently?
Yeah, there's a fluid change that's going to happen with Halo to Unreal Engine 6. I'm pretty sure there's an upgrade path. It's not like start over, guys. Yep.
Yeah.
New engine. Hire your dev team. Start from scratch. Yep.
Random thought on that. Kind of that whole line of thinking. Do you think that the Switch 2 is going to be fully backwards compatible and just like be able to play all the shit that you already have? Because that'll be the first time.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be like not. It's going to be an incremental console. Like it won't even get to 1080p. It'll be like 1019p.
And no, I just mean, will it be able to play all
it'll
your
be
old
back
games?
compat because those games are the same shit tech that the same shit Switch right now plays. The Switch is a piece of shit. It's the worst fucking console on the planet.
Okay.
It is.
Okay,
it is barely.
How can they sell the same Mario
Kart
Kart game to you if they can't make you buy another one? I mean, it's been the same game for how many generations?
That's true.
Years?
What are they going to do with
How
Mario
are they going to
Kart,
do Mario Kart for the
9
Switch 2 if they can't make you buy a new one? They're going to let you play the
and they're
going to
make you buy Mario Party. They're going to make you buy Luigi's Mansion. They're going to make you buy the next Zelda game. Fuck those fucks. The thing's a piece of shit. They're always 2 generations behind. Like, fuck them. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm not going to suck Nintendo's dick like you guys want to, but yeah.
I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying, do you think incrementally they will be able to use their old engine or whatever? And
they absolutely could. Whether they do or not is all about whether they want to charge you another time, like Selden said.
Yeah. I don't think natively you will be able to. They'll probably have a just like they did with this generation where they had the marketplace where you could buy the old games and throw it through their emulator within the thing.
Yeah, I hope.
But
yeah. No, fuck Nintendo. Like
I don't. It's not in Nintendo's best interest to let you play the old games on the new console. I don't think.
I don't know if it's going to be very similar. I think it'll have to. People will riot because whenever in the past, whenever it's been an old system and a new system, they've always been pretty different. I think this would be very similar.
Their target audience is what that 9 to 12-year-old. So
it's fans.
At that point, they get a real console
anymore. They don't think so anymore. Look at all the commercials. They're all like teens and adults playing that shit.
I don't know. Like it's
take it on the go to your work on the train.
You're their audience, Shadow. Like I don't know any other grown
I
ass
have
man
one. You have
that
2.
loves these things.
You have 2.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I have 1.
But I don't like it. I hate it.
I
like that's the difference. I have Nintendo 2 games. And I think they suck.
Anyway,
I'll probably buy 2 of the next one, and then it'll suck. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right, next story.
Ubisoft's effort to save Star Wars Outlaws continues with a huge patch. This patch is out now. Some of the notable changes are related to the Outlaw stealth sequence. I think we hinted at this a couple of shows ago that they're looking.
We didn't just hint it. We had a whole story on this.
Yeah, get out of the whole instant death if you get caught in stealth mode type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're struggling with this game. Supposedly, they at the time of the article that I'm looking at, they had only sold 1 million copies to date of it. They were expecting a lot higher sales than that. I wouldn't be sad about 1 million sales, but
you sell 1 million of anything, it's a good thing. Like you sell 1 million gumballs. It's like
it's nowhere close to the target that they were going for, though. So that's I guess that's the problem. The shareholders are pissed, or whoever is backing it. So they're still working on this game. They didn't give up on it. They didn't pull like a Concord on it or whatever that game was on.
It was PlayStation,
Concord, yes, where they just pulled it and said, "Nope, we're not going to admit this ever happened, and we're going to ignore it." So they're trying to fix it, and hopefully they do.
I think
they did fix a lot of issues and a lot of things going on with it. So I'm not going to sit here and go through it all, but there's some good improvements. I don't know if it's ready for me to go back to yet, though. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played it yet, but everything I've heard has been good. Like all the reviews have been good. Their only issues were some of the bugs. and they're fixing those. So I think that that's a good thing. I mean, these days, and I think it's hard to hit it big with a new game. It's just people, so much are coming out all the time, even if they're AAA
Just
games.
iterative. Yeah.
It's just like, oh, there's a new game of this out. Oh, look at this shiny thing over here in like 2 minutes, and then you forget about it. So, like, I'd almost even forgot that Star Wars Outlaws came out, even though I was originally going, I want to play that. I just have too much other stuff going on, and I'm not a kid, so I have more things going on in my life than just games. So I don't know. I don't I forget about it, and then things like this happen. So I hope that it does well because it's supposed to be good, and I hope this patch fixes it, and that Selden goes back and finishes it.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I will too.
honestly, it was a beautiful game. I mean, I love the environments that they had created, and it just the stealth factor was
Who
just getting
makes
a
a
little too
stealth
much.
game
So.
now? Like, it's just like even like
I love
Assassin's
stealth
Creed has
games.
been pulling back on stealth over the years. Like that was the original
Okay,
stealth game, and then
the
they
the
started
stealth games
pulling
that are
back and pulling.
the stealth games that are fail stealth games, those are annoying. But when you have to stealth the whole thing, if you get caught, you have to restart the whole thing. I hate that. I think that's what you're talking about. But like
Yeah,
stealth games where you can just like you can
No,
be stealthy and
Derek
kill
thinks
people.
Gears of War is a stealth game, so he,
yeah, yeah.
he's
Okay.
It's a third person
Well,
hider. Like if you're not
where
just running out going, yeah, Wolverines, motherfuckers, and just like just shoot right down the barrel at
no,
them, and
dude.
you're running, dodging bullets. Like that's my kind of game. I don't
No.
want to hide.
I'm a big like Deus Ex type gamer where I'm like sneaking around and trying to not be seen and shit. I love that. And I think a lot of people do. You don't, that's
Sure,
fine.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, sure.
it's a thing people like, so I don't
yeah.
think
I
that's
don't
the
mind if it's
issue.
part of a game, but a whole game dedicated and forcing you to do it that way, that's where it starts to get
It's
monotonous for me. So
yeah. What
I
was
like to
that?
be able to fight if you have to.
Yeah, there was a game that came out, and it may have been an Ubisoft game, and there was definitely two in the series. And it was one where you could have powers, like you could push people
Dishonored?
back.
Well, that's not
Dishonored,
Ubisoft,
yes,
but
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And that was one that they wanted you to play stealth, and people were like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go
Oh, I loved
fucking
it.
run and gun that shit."
No. I
You
played that
played it
game stealth
stealth.
the whole way. I
You
got
are
I got not
such
seen.
a
yes,
I finished
such a
it
sellout.
I finished it not seen once. I did that. I did that whole thing.
Mm,
I loved it.
mm.
I love being
see,
stealthy.
like
Man, nobody sees you. You come behind you, you kill them and they turn to dust, and then you just jump away. And oh,
But the
I love
game
it.
takes like twice as long when you have to like,
Yeah,
I'm
then you get more
sneaking.
time out of it
I'm
if you like the game.
sneaking. No,
yeah, that's why
I
I don't
think
want
the
to.
No,
game's over with.
well,
Boom.
but the powers you could jump around to different places, so you weren't just like
No.
sneaking behind stuff slowly. You could be like, I'm over here. I'm in this vent. I'm up top. I'm down. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
great
like
game.
I
the
just
the
can't.
Hitman
No.
game series. I love the idea of the Hitman game series,
Me
but
too. If you just run out and shoot
they
people.
reward you too much for playing it stealth wise and
Yeah.
penalize you so much for run and gun,
Yes. Yeah. I
Yeah.
and that gets
absolutely agree.
annoying.
It's because you're not supposed to know. People aren't supposed to know you're the hitman.
All
But
you have to do is run
sometimes,
into a building, get to a window, fucking get your framing, boom, done, run out of there. Like, what's wrong with that? Why do you have to like sneak up behind him and poison him with like a little spider that you put in his back pocket? Like, fuck that. Just shoot his fucking head from across the street. Done. Next target.
all right, next story while we're at it. Let's
Well,
go.
apparently Derek likes a specific town game.
Yes,
Epic
yeah.
suing Google and Samsung for making it too hard to download Fortnite, which is weird. The company claims auto blocker makes it difficult for users to install Epic's App Store on mobile devices. I can understand that because Epic's had issues with that, especially with the Apple. I know it says
Yep.
suing Google and Samsung, but issues other places where hey, they don't want them to use their own game store and they want to
Yep.
get a cut, and so I think that's why they're doing it. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a
it's
lawsuit.
like I could sideload whatever I want if I can find the program out there on Google, but
And
like
you're gonna trust
don't
that
offer.
package.
Yeah, they don't really offer the like multiple storefronts that, and I can see where they're coming at it, but I don't know. If you wanted it simple, go to Apple. Like if you
Well, now
want to use a technical, more technical, you can use a Google. So, But yeah, I guess they want to make it easier. So let's dumb it down.
I'm way more technical than you, Selden, but yeah.
I'm sure you are, but
and I have
the average Apple user is not.
Apple tried to block this, and Apple tried to block this, and they got sued and they lost. So now they have to let them have their own store. I don't know, man.
We always end up in the same ruts. Yes, that's what we get.
I don't know why
with us. Yeah.
I don't understand the effort put in by companies to try to do this sort of thing when they have to know eventually they're going to get sued for it. They're going to get whatever.
Because they're getting that extra 20% off the
for
top
a little while until they get sued and have to pay the settlement.
Just think of how many people bought Fortnite on iPhone before that whole suit happened. Like, that's a lot of 20% adding up to your bottom.
All those battle passes that they bought. So
in a settlement, they might have to pay that amount back. So it just seems like a lot of effort and money for nothing. Just don't do it because they know what they're going to lose. I mean, they always do.
Yeah, but they make a lot of money before they lose. So.
Like I said, though, they have to pay it half the time.
Only a portion.
Only a portion.
Yeah.
Shekels on the millions.
Yeah,
and
better to.
Pretty sure Apple has some pretty good lawyers.
Better to ask forgiveness than ask permission. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, if any of you have news stories like that, give us a call, 773-527-961. Email us at podcast@toolplay.com or comment this episode's third in the Tool Play homepage. And sponsors. If we had them, we'd pimp them, but we don't, so we won't. So just sponsor us. You know all the contact information. I'm not going to fucking go over it again. Fuck off. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool Player at twitter.com/toolplay. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us, facebook.com/tool-to-play. We also have a YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/tool-to-play. That is where we broadcast the show live. It's also where all of our archive video content goes. So nothing is lost to the internet or to places where previous audio-only versions of Tool Type Radio went. This is permanent and forever. So you can go watch Tiff's immature interviews. You can watch Hits Quick Hits. Selden, you have any favorite shows on there?
No.
Ah, okay.
I do, but they're nothing related to video game systems. So.
All right. Nice. That was well played, sir. Well played. We have a Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/still_got_game. That's where one of the places we broadcast this show live each week since we abandoned our Tool to Play Twitch channel because of the multi-streaming issues, but that may be changing shortly, so we may be going back there as well. So stay tuned. Breaking news. We have a yes. We have a Discord. It's at discord.me/stillgotgame. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. It's got all kinds of channels related to the show. Whether you want to talk about news stories, general comments, show feedback, you want to suggest news stories for the next show, you just want to chat with Shadow, who is like, he has an implant in his like temple.
It just notifies me right in my eye.
He is on there 24/7. He gets, it's like, he's like, hey, sup? Maybe not that cool. Maybe he's like, how are you, sir? What's up? But yeah, I don't know why I gave him a British accent.
British
but yes,
yeah.
But yeah, you can go contact Shadow whenever you want on discord.me/stillgotgame. Selden's also there most of the time. I'm there maybe once a week on a Monday, right when I finish the outline, then I get caught up on the previous week's stuff. But yeah, definitely drop in there, discord.me/stillgotgame. And now we're to the per person pimping portion of the show. So Selden, what do you want to pimp this week in October?
You can find all my socials on linktree/Selden007. That's where you can find all the links to everything that I put out there social. You'll also find a link to the breast cancer awareness sites. I highly recommend, since October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, that you think about donating time, money, or just reaching out to somebody that is a survivor or going through the cancer treatments, or just found out that they have breast cancer, and just lending an ear or a voice or give them some positive encouragement. So,
Nice.
how about you, Shadow? Sorry, I didn't mean I was.
That's all right.
It was a slow set.
Yeah. You can check out my link tree, Brian S. Emerick, BrianSemerick, for all my stuff. Except for I wanted to just say, with Hurricane Helene and Milton coming, anything you do to send money or supplies or whatever you can do to help out people in the area, do that right now. It's very important. It's Milton's coming, and it's gonna be very bad. So I don't know when this is coming out, probably after that hits. So, I think next Monday or whenever you post it. So if it's happened, whatever's happened, send money to those folks down there if you can.
Yeah, I mean, the devastation that's happened down there, because my father's got a place down in Lake Lure, which is right next to Chimney Rock, which completely
Lake Lure is fucked.
It's so beyond fucked. It's just
I've seen that footage of just wood.
Yeah,
it's a lake of wood, right?
I was down there like a little bit over a month ago. Stopped by there on my way to Florida to drop my son off, and ate right there on Main Street at Chimney Rock. And it's nothing there anymore. It's just insane. So yeah, anything you guys can do to help out the survivors, and anything that's going on down there, I can get behind that, definitely. So
fair enough.
How about you, Derek?
Oh, before I pimp my link tree, I'm going to talk about the same things. First off, all of that. Obviously, there's I'm a known historical Republican, not a Trumper, but climate change is obviously showing some shit here. So maybe let's look into taking care of our environment and go from there. I know I risk alienating part of the audience, but this isn't normal what's happening right now. There's never been a time in history like this where this happens over and over and over again. So just check your swing, bend your politics a little bit, as I have had to, and let's take care of our planet and make sure that we don't have these insane historical weather events happening over and over and over and over. Like, sure, Florida's always been hit by hurricanes, but not like this, and not up into the Carolinas over and over. It's just not normal. Off the soapbox. And still, before I get to my link tree, you want to give to folks that have been battered by these storms. That's absolutely top priority. We have October is it's not just 1 month. We have breast cancer awareness. We have ADHD awareness. We have LGBTQ plus History Month. There's lots of, if you don't like one of these things, and I don't understand why you would pick and choose who you like and who you don't. There's plenty of things to donate to during this month. It's also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So, throw your shekels in those directions. And now that I've covered the important things, all of my stuff is at Linktree/Derek Nolan. But don't even go there. My stuff's there, the show stuff's there, but really there's so much more important stuff going on right now. Let's take care of these people that got fucked by all these storms. Let's make sure LGBTQ plus people are safe. Let's make sure breast cancer people have money for research. Let's make sure domestic violence survivors have, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, that charity that we donated a bunch of our stuff to, that provides furniture to victims of domestic violence, and they have to go on the lam, and they're hiding out, and they need furniture, they need stuff to build up their houses. So there's plenty of shit to give your money to that's not just buying the next Call of Duty game. Okay, that probably was not the best.
Well, if you have Game Pass, you don't have to buy it.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So yeah, just think about the people that have less than you and are less fortunate than you, have been ravaged by a storm or by abusive folks or by diseases, or by people that don't understand other people's sexuality and feel the need to judge it. Just be a good human. That's really what it boils down to. All right. So I remind you all, you can join us each and every other Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/tool2play, facebook.com/tool2play, twitch.tv/still_got_game, and kick.com/stillgotgame. And on that, why don't we wrap this? Next week is Indigenous Peoples Day. At least we got that one back from Columbus. Episode up. I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden 007 Selden.
I'm Brian Shadow Emmerich.
Give, give, give.